Greetings ladies and gentlemen, Adrian here. Welcome back to the channel. We have some major news coming out for the MMO world. Athlon Games has partnered with Middle-earth Enterprises to announce a brand new Lord of the Rings MMO. The press announcement came out on September the 4th, and I'm going to be breaking down the most important bits and what we know so far about this new Lord of the Rings MMO. First things first, there is no release date in the press announcement, so we do not know when this game is going to come out. It will be developed by Athlon Games. This is a company out of Burbank, California, and it is a subsidiary of Liu Enterprises out of Hong Kong, who also owns Digital Extremes, the studio behind Warframe. Now let's talk about that for a second. I've heard nothing but good things about Digital Extremes and Warframe the game. It is not an MMO. It is an online co-op shooter style game. But the fact that Liu Enterprises and now Athlon Games, these are all related, this can only mean good things, I hope, simply because they have the expertise to make online games that are fun, and we'll explore that theme later on in the video. Next up, and very important for Lord of the Rings fans, Lord of the Rings online players, those of you that play lotro, if you guys want to know what this new MMO is going to be about, this game will be set in the timeline before the events of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. So basically, this game will take place before the Third Age and the events of the One Ring. Therefore, we are looking at either the First Age or Second Age in the Tolkien lore, and that simply means there's a lot of stories and lore and stuff to pull from. And just based on this fact, it's getting me pretty excited to know what these new developers will play with when it comes to stories and settings and characters, and of course just how lore appropriate and authentic this new game will be. Next up, and probably the most crucial information in the press announcement, is the payment model. Both Athlon Games and Middle-earth Enterprises has said that this new Lord of the Rings MMO will be free to play. It's this part of the announcement that has me a little worried because while I do acknowledge there are great free-to-play games out there, especially when it comes to MMORPG, I personally, being a big fan of the Lord of the Rings franchise, would like to see something that has more confidence in the quality of your content and maybe charge for a buy-to-play game instead of going free-to-play. But we have to acknowledge that the way the industry is going, the way the market's going, free-to-play would be a sensible option for a lot of new games coming out. And having had the Lord of the Rings Online by Turbine Studios and now Standing Stone Games being free-to-play for a large majority of its life, I feel somewhat burned out by that free-to-play model and would have loved to see something different here. The reality is, Athlon Games has said it's going to be free-to-play. And to be fair, we do not have any other details. Will there be a heavy cash shop influence? What's the microtransaction going to look like in this game? Are there going to be DLCs and expansion purchases? Will there be an optional subscription? All these things are not available yet, so we'll have to wait and see when that information comes out. We'll talk about it more then. Also, in the press announcement, I picked up on the hint that these guys are also experts when it comes to console and PC port stuff. So it is possible that there will be a console release as part of this new studio's plans in the long run. Based on what we know from this group of companies, Digital Extremes, Warframe, that game is everywhere now, console, PC, coming to the Nintendo Switch as well. And if there's one thing that could elevate the Lord of the Rings as a franchise in gaming again, it's to bring more of their online presence to the console, especially for the MMO. I think the Lord of the Rings Online would have been great on consoles, but because of the time of release and just how old the game is now, that's not possible anymore. So having this new MMORPG take that leap and leverage on the console market just as well as PC, I think would be a great strategy for today. And the last point I kind of picked up on the press announcement was that the timing of this might have something to do with the upcoming Lord of the Rings Amazon TV series that was announced sometime back. Now the release for that is sometime in 2019, I think, and that cost $250 million to make. So the timing of the announcement for this Lord of the Rings MMO by Athlon Games might have something to do with that. I really feel that way, because if I was Middle-earth Enterprises, I would like to make a connection for these two products to come out simultaneously or close to each other for better marketing. And again, when you look back to Lord of the Rings Online, the current online MMO for the Lord of the Rings, it never really had that sort of bubble where you could rely on other stuff. You had other games coming out that was Lord of the Rings themes, but it didn't have any correlation to help with marketing or whatever. But in this case, it looks likely that Middle-earth Enterprises will try and leverage and do better than what they've done in the past. So that's pretty much all the information we have based on this press announcement. And I'm just going to wrap this up by sharing my thoughts about it. I am a big Lord of the Rings fan. I've said this so many times in all my videos. I've been playing Lord of the Rings online for many years with some good friends that you've already heard from by watching my stuff on the channel. And first impressions for me is I am excited. Anything that has to do with a Lord of the Rings game in an online space is intriguing to me. And the thing is, people have been commenting on some of my lotro videos over the past 2 years saying, I would kill for a new lotro. I would kill for a lotro part 2. I would buy a brand new Lord of the Rings game, or I will subscribe to anything that comes out that will top lotro. Well, folks, this is it. You asked for it, or you were hoping for it, and now you're getting it, a brand new Lord of the Rings MMO. There are many things I love about lotro, but the allure of this new game taking us back to a timeline, First Age, Second Age, that we haven't really explored and seen before in a game, let alone an MMO, is really exciting me. Again, I have reservations with the payment model. Free-to-play may work for some games, it may not. You may hate free-to-play games. I'm kind of 50-50 about it, especially now that we know it's going free-to-play and we don't have any idea of how the game will have a cash up and stuff like that. So we'll have to wait and see how it affects the game overall. But I would have preferred this game to be buy-to-play. So that's all I want to share with you guys today. I'm going to try and put together a crack team of lotro players, maybe Andang and a couple more friends that I play lotro with, to sit down and talk about this and talk about how this impacts lotro in the future. So stay tuned for that in an upcoming video. I will let you guys know when that hits. And for now, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. What do you guys think about this new MMO based on the Lord of the Rings that will be developed by Athlon Games? Feel free to hit the like button if you found this video informative and helpful, and share it with fellow lotro players and Lord of the Rings players who are looking for a new MMO. Also, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more MMO content. Once again, I'm Adrian, and I thank you guys for watching. Hey folks, welcome to the end screen. Thank you very much for watching that video. If you want to watch more, you can click on the cards at the bottom here, and feel free to subscribe to the channel with the button down there, which will give you notifications on all my latest uploads. Later, Gator.